Hey, it's your girl Jasmine Edwards, your favorite millennial relationship surgeon. As you guys know, I am passionate about coaching others on how to overcome their trauma, run away from drama, and how to have healthy relationships with God, themselves, and others. Right? So, I'm wearing my B2K shirt because I went to the concert a few weeks ago. So I'm excited. Um, this is gonna be a different. Excuse me, guys. This is gonna be a different type of video. I have hair on my eye. It won't come off. It's gonna be different because most of these videos, I have like a written out script and I try to stay on the script and everything. Like, you may not know because I'm such a pro. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But I wanted to talk about, who do you trust? And I've realized that trust is a very, 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 very hard thing to gain once it's broken. But what do you do when you feel like you were born without trusting people? What do you do when you feel like you can't trust your mom, you couldn't trust your dad, you couldn't trust your siblings? Like, what do you do? How do you get past that point to where you find people in your life that you can trust? Now, I don't have all the answers, and like I said, this is going to be a different type of video. This is really just going to be whatever God gives me right now, and this is going to be whatever comes to my mind. Whatever whatever comes up is what we're going to be talking about, right? And so, I don't know, like, I didn't want to be like, oh, who do you trust and whatever. I'll tell you this. In my life, there's been moments from a childhood where my biological father said that he would be places and he wasn't. Like, he didn't show up. There's times in my life where my mom was like, okay, we're going to do these things. And then it'd be like, okay, when we going, the day is over, and we didn't do it. So for me, that's kind of where my trust was broken. But then on top of that, right, I'm about to tell you some juiciness. On top of that, I was sexually assaulted when I was 5 by one foster brother, and then I was sexually assaulted maybe a year and some change, from maybe 7 to 9, or whenever he graduated. So from 7 to whatever he graduated, I was sexually assaulted by him. Now, when I think about trust, right? So you gotta think, you are bringing people into your own home, you're clothing them, you're feeding them, you're making sure they're taken care of. So there should be some level of respect and a level of trust, right? So in the beginning, you gotta think, I didn't really trust my parents. Then this brother figure who I was supposed to be able to trust, and he was going to protect me, and he was going to love me, and he was supposed to be my family, and he violates that trust. He violates those boundaries. So then it's like on top of layer, you're trying to figure out, like, okay, if I couldn't trust family, blood, or basically accepted and adopted, then who can I really trust? And at the age of 7, that's when I was first saved. As far as I can remember, from maybe 4 years old, my family being in church. That's as far as I can remember. So we were in church. I heard about God. I didn't understand what it was until I was being sexually assaulted, until I was being molested. I didn't understand what I didn't understand what God was. I didn't understand what trusting God was until I reached my 20-somethings, and I'm 28. So that means it took me a long time to get to the point where I'm trusting God, right? And so I'm saying all this, let me not move out the camera. I'm saying all this to say to you is that we may be born into situations, circumstances, families where they have not protected us, where they have not given us a great example of what it means to be integral, what it means to be on time, what it means to be adventurous, what it means to be, securing yourself. So how do you live your life believing that other people that you come in contact with will be able to do that or more than what the people who were supposed to do that for you have done. So this is what I'm going to say to you, and it sounds cliche. It sounds cliche, and you may feel like, well, I don't want to do that, or I don't believe in that. Well, I'm going to tell you this. This is what I've learned about trust. I've learned that if I begin to dig into myself, right? If I begin to know what my voice sounds like, know what the voice of God sounds like, and know what the voice of the devil sounds like, then I will be able to trust if anyone who is in my life sounds like God, sounds like, my own broken and ratchetness, or sounds like the devil. I hope that makes sense. Is that I've learned that if I continued to stop looking outside of everyone else to provide people that I could trust and people that I could depend on, and I start leaning within, and I start going within, and I start saying, you know what? These people may not have given me the best example, but what can I tap into with myself? Like, I know that I don't want to be a parent like my father. I know that there's things about my mother that I didn't like. I know that I don't want to be a predator and prey on, vulnerable people. So I know that I won't be like those people who violated my trust. But what is it about me or within me that makes me trustworthy to other people? That's what I started doing. What makes me trustworthy to myself? Do I keep my own secrets? Do I keep my own boundaries? Am I self-aware? Am I honest with myself? That's how I build trust. So when you think about who do you trust, one, you need to trust yourself. You need to find something about you to say, no matter what happens, I know that I will always be able to do X, Y, and Z. No matter what happens, and I'll put myself in here, no matter what happens, I know that Jasmine Lynise Edwards is always able to love people in spite of her pain and their pain. That's what I'm able to do. I am able to do, and I'm able to trust that no matter what happens in my life, love will always manifest. Love will always show up. Love will always bring me into where I need to be, and it will always draw people who may need love and may be broken, or who may need love and they have love to give back. Sometimes we got to be careful of trusting people who may have one thing that we need or one thing that we are searching after, but they are not able to be, it's not reciprocal. Like, we can't keep going back and forth. I can't give you loyalty, or I can give you loyalty, but you can't give it back to me. Or you have money, but I need advice. So just being aware of those things, being aware of what about me can I trust? Okay, I can trust that I have this gift. I can trust that I have this talent. I can trust that I have this dream. And it's up to me to hold on to that trust, to protect that and not violate it, right? It's up to me to decide, do I give this away to someone else's hand? Because that's what we do too. We give trust away without people proving to us that they will protect and not disrespect the boundary of our confidence, right? So for me, I don't have the actual definition of trust, but for me, trust relates to faith. Faith in the Bible is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. It's that believing and manifesting that what you see in your mind's eye will come to pass in reality. So if I'm saying that, who do I trust? Who do I have faith in? Who do I have confidence in? My ultimate number one should be, I should have faith and confidence in myself. But I can't truly have faith and confidence within myself if I don't have Jesus Christ, if I don't have the Lord, if I don't have God, if I don't lean on God's infinite wisdom and power, then trusting myself will make me just like everyone else. I will violate my trust. So if you want to start with trusting, if you want to figure out who do you trust, like I said, the first thing you do is you need to figure out what about you can trust. What about you that you're like, okay, when all else fails, this is what I come back to. This is what I do, right? This will help you realize that when you get into relationships, that when you feel like you can't trust them, you need to figure out what about yourself is allowing you to break that boundary, or what about yourself where that boundary is weak, where you need to kind of like build that confidence within yourself. See, the thing that we have, the problem that we have in relationships is that we put too much trust in the other person. That person is going to do what they allow themselves to do. Listen, that's the word. They're going to do what they allow themselves to do. So that means even if you want to trust them, they're still going to do whatever they have allowed themselves to do. If they don't want to be faithful, they won't be faithful. If they don't want to tell the truth, they won't tell the truth. If they don't want to marry you, they won't marry you. If they don't want to have children, they won't have children. Like, sorry, my hair thing. It's whatever that they don't want. Like, if they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. So that just speaks to the level of trust in themselves, the level of understanding themselves, the level of them understanding and believing and knowing that God has a plan for them, and that if they take their own understanding and put it in God's understanding, his understanding is greater and more vast than ours. So that means we will be able to stand even when what we believe or what confidence we have in ourselves is not secure and it's not a great foundation. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. Like I said, I'm literally just going off the top of my head of what the topic is because I didn't want to sit here and write something out. And I just want you to know that's the topic is, who do you trust? Who do you trust? And I'm telling you that one, you need to trust God. And when you put him as the foundation, you need to find out the one thing about yourself that you know for a fact when all else fails, you can depend and you have confidence in that thing, that you will be able to execute it. You will be able to do it. And that will be your saving grace when other people in your life are not trustworthy. When they show up and they flip-flop and they say one thing, then they do another thing, you just need to know, you know what? I can trust that Jasmine will always have love in her heart. So even if they do that, I'm going to extend love to them. Even if they do that, I'm going to extend grace to them. I'm going to extend mercy to them. But what I'm not going to do is keep putting myself in situations where I'm going to break the confidence in myself. I'm telling you, if you think about it. If I'm saying that trust is faith, and faith is having confidence in something that is unseen that you're hoping to come, if I'm trusting that God, who I have faith in, who I have confidence in, who I believe in, will do what he said, meaning he will make me a wife. Again, he will make me a mother. He will have me having successful businesses and books and a great ministry. If I'm believing and having confidence in that, then I will not put myself in situations that will break that confidence. You got to stop putting yourself in situations that will break that confidence. When that person or those people are in your life that one time and they make you doubt that one thing about yourself that you know is true, then they broke your confidence and you got to dip. You got to move on. Who do you trust? You trust God, one. You can trust the universe. If that's who you feel like trusting, trust that. But you need to trust that there's a power higher than you that sees all, that knows all, and who has your best interest at heart and will never let you fail. You let yourself fail when you stop trusting and believing in that one gift, that one thing, or anything about yourself that will be able to manifest the glory body of God, to manifest the life that you want, that will manifest the dreams and the visions that you have. You got to be able to protect your trust. That's who you trust. You trust God, you trust you, and you allow him to bring people around you that will not crush your confidence in yourself. Well, it's been 15 minutes and some seconds. And if I keep going, y'all, it's going to be like an hour. And I don't want an hour video just yet. But I love you. You know, I love you guys. And I pray that this has encouraged you. I just felt led to do it pro bono, or is that the word? I was felt led to just do it off script, and I'm praying for you. And until next time, this is Jasmine Edwards, your favorite millennial relationship surgeon. Thank you. God bless.